With DC Chief Medical Examiner Roger Mitchell. We're in the disaster morgue. Tell us about this. Let's walk through it.
So the Field Disaster Morgue is a deployable military-grade tent structure that we're using for a field morgue operations. We're having an exercise this week for the first time in the district's history to plan and support for a mass fatality incident.
Okay, let's see what we have.
Okay. So we're coming from the PPE, where personal protective equipment is happening, and that's where people will put on their materials, and then we're coming in the intake portion of where we would receive the bodies. If you want to look here, we have a refrigerated storage unit that if individuals, once they're obtained and brought in, they're brought into this area where they're checked into the Field Disaster Morgue. After they come in and intake occurs, we go over here into this station, and you might want to look into this diagram here that tells you exactly where we're going within the disaster morgue. So we're actually going into the dental x-ray portion of the Field Disaster Morgue. This is where the x-rays would be performed for identification purposes. These x-rays are done by our mortuary technicians who are all trained in x-ray. So as you can see here, an x-ray would have been taken in this exercise of an individual for the purposes of their identification, as well as the identification of any evidence inside, like shrapnel or bullets.
Dr. Mitchell, are we ready for a mass casualty event in DC?
We are ready for a mass casualty event in Washington, D.C. We're absolutely ready. And this is to show that we are ready in the District of Columbia, in the nation's capital.